This week should have been an absolute win for the SpawnShark. We actually called it. We said the last 2 weeks, Izak Rankine is our #1 trade in. If you don't have him, you gotta pick him, otherwise your season's gonna end.
Along with Rankine, great pod for our team. If you don't have him, I think he is the pick that's going to probably change your team the most. Yeah, I can't think of another pick this week that you wouldn't go if it wasn't for Rankine.
And you can see what actually happened. He went 223 points on the Saturday night. You would think we'd actually go up in ranks because of that, but a few other people have him. So we've actually dropped down from 12th to 13th. #1 ranking actually had a huge week, so now we're actually 316 points behind the leader, which is a head scratcher. Naz is injured, so we've got problems. Milera is still out for another week. No surprise there. And yeah, despite the ranking call, now my season's suddenly hanging by a thread. Let's get into it. Alright, so you can see we're pretty happy with our calls from the rankings traded over the last 2 weeks. We'll have to give you someone else this week. But yeah, you see the proofs in the pudding from our call. We called him 2 weeks ago. He's gone 158 against Essendon and 223 against Richmond, just to put a dagger in people's seasons in this elimination finals, or even, you know, pop them up the rankings in this last little bit. I don't think if you didn't have him this week that you're going to win SuperCoach. It'll be very tough. We'll go over our round review and how he went. So we only dropped 1 ranking overall, but I think it's pretty much, from what I saw, first overall, it's theirs to lose at the moment. They've got like a 140 point gap or something in second, and then the rest of us are all mush between the next 100, 150 points or so. And I think that's quite a few people, to be honest. So we scored 25.09 for the round. A bit disappointing because we only had 22 players to field on the weekend. And on the Saturday, after the Saturday night, we're actually looking very good. We're actually going to captain or vice captain Rankine in today, cost, but looking at the weather report, we saw it was pouring rain, and yeah, we're very busy on the Saturday as well, so we didn't get a chance to really fully gauge as to what was happening in the game or anything like that. So I actually went vice captain on Gorn, but yeah, if it wasn't pouring rain, I would have gone Rankine. So, you know, it's a bit funny because, like, as far, you know, as good as the, you know, score was, and like I'm happy that I called like trade Rankine 2 weeks ago, and hopefully the watchers from this channel's benefited from that. I don't think it was a 223 point game, but you know, I think Jordan Dawson also had 37 touches, and I don't even have him. So, and despite, you know, disposal efficiency, it's not that huge a difference. He only kicked 1 goal. You know, you could have argued Dacos's game was better on the Sunday as well. Like he was everywhere with his game as well, and he had more touches, I think, and a goal. So he really dominated. But anyway, when you're up the top ranks, or even, you know, wherever you are in the ranks around you, it's all about a bit of luck in the end as well. Like, it's not just skill, it's a bit of luck. So kudos to anyone who went the Rankine captain. So we'll get into our analytics of what's actually happened with our team. I'm gonna say we're pretty sunk this week with Naz being out. So we actually copped the 10. So if we didn't cop the 10, we've probably been on 2600 or so. But because we don't have that benefit of a Dirksen or anything like that, that's fortunate. So I think in terms of #1, it's very unlikely from here, since I think Milera is out for another week. So that 2 to 3 weeks turned out to be 3 weeks. So I mean, it's not impossible, but like I have no idea. Like, first and foremost, if you're in this thinking that you're sitting pretty at the moment and you're in the top 1 or 2 or something, I think there's still another chapter to be wrote. Like, Sydney this week are playing Essendon, So Grundy's a risk, Heaney's a risk, Blakey's a risk, Warner's a risk. Let's say Warner and Mills is a risk. So if you have any of those players, they've already said about Frio's Murphy Reed that he could be out. So it's a real danger about teams resting. St Kilda might, I don't know if they might rest some players. I don't know. Anyone else who's secure in the ladder, like Collingwood, or they might rest. Brisbane's got depth, but I don't think Brisbane's that type of team that rest Neil and Ashcroft. It's more their players like Coleman and Gardner and that. But Gawn could rest or Max Heath could come in. I've worried about him. Yeah, so I don't think I think it's far from over, and you're going to need to be lucky in this last 2 weeks. I think everyone's down to no trades or 1 or 2 trades at max. So then, if we have a complete catastrophe in this Thursday team lineups when they're named, it's going to decide the season. But we'll keep going off our team. Whitfield was good. Yeah, Naz out for the year, so if you have him, trade him. We'll go for trade options. Ash, yeah, one does good, one does bad. Between him and Whitfield, Parker's been serviceable. Hawker Hahn would hope for better against the weaker teams. He hasn't done that. Dacos was good. Probably could have been better. The Brisbane boys are both good. Ashcroft and Neil, I think they're good for the last couple of rounds. Bont's been disappointing. I think the captaincy option for him is off limits at this point. Even if they're versus Richmond, don't care. Bailey Smith did well against the Bombers. I didn't actually see that game, but had a lot of touches. Walsh just does Walsh things, being average and mediocre. Oliver was mediocre as well the last few weeks. It's happened again. Heaney's getting managed, so whether he gets managed with his time on ground or just misses the week, I don't know. Gawn, we went to VC on him, and he was actually on 40 something at quarter time and looking good, but just the way it played out, it just didn't work out in his favour. A couple free kicks against that, and yeah, that killed his score. Jackson had to go his way despite the even matchup. He did very well. Yeah, watch out for him being managed as well. I think this is what's going to happen this week. It's all about who's getting managed. Sheasel, yep, that's okay. He's got the tag this week. I would avoid. Rankine was phenomenal. Yeah, not much else to say. I think 5% captained him in the top 1%, so well done to you guys. Bradley Hill, this was so we're still in leagues as well, and so we're still in the hunt for top 1 and top 10, but when we saw Naz go down, we're like, oh, that really hurts top 1 position, and then when Bradley Hill went down and didn't move for 10 minutes, oh my god, I think, I felt like maybe a lot of other people were feeling like, SuperCoach is done, and we can't win if we don't have him. So, and I gotta say, I feel sorry for a lot of people whose seasons are, kind of done at this point, because SuperCoach is kind of a bit like a game Monopoly when you're losing, and someone's got all the hotels around, the board and that, and you just sort of roll in the dice, and you can't actually win the game. But sorry, my dog's just squeaking his toy. And yeah, it's pretty there's no way of getting back into the game at this point, really. The trades are done. Your team is how it is, and if you're hundreds and hundreds or even over 1,000 points behind, then it's really hard to come back. Bailey has been, missing goals, which has hurt him, and he's scored the last couple. Pickett, been good, and Petrarca's not playing midfield still, for the most part, and been average. So, and LDU got massive scaling that last quarter. So, That was a pleasant surprise for us, but this is what happens when he doesn't get the tag. So, which he has in the last 2 weeks against Geelong and Sydney. So most likely, oh, actually, yeah, he'll probably get the tag over Sheasel. So maybe take that back for Sheasel. Might be all right. So we'll go for the rankings now. How far we are behind number one. So they're at 49,776, and we're 316 points behind. It's hard when we don't have a 22nd, 23rd player to cover. Like, our defense is just getting smashed. Like, we've got cover in the midfield, but we just don't have cover in this defense anymore. And, in hindsight, it would have been nice if Milera just didn't get injured, but he did, so that's just the luck of the game. He couldn't survive 4 weeks, and he's going to miss this week. I think they're probably going to win at this number one team, to be honest, if I'm being brutally honest, but I think the top 2 to 10 is still up for grabs, so we're 160.8 points behind second, and yeah. A lot of people actually captain Bailey Smith this week in this top lot, or even Rankine, so we actually captained the Nick Dacos, which hurt. We just can't accept this person who, their team is unaffected by injuries, which is basically, like, they've still got Holger Hahn on the bench, since they haven't had the Wayne Milera injury in that, to help them. Full midfield still. Sydney boys with Grundy could be a worry. Horn Francis this week is a watch. We'll see what happens. I'll run through some trades, but if that happens, I think if any of these guys are out and you've got trades, then you just trade to win your prelim or get your extra points. No point dying wondering. Is there where's the chink in the armor in this team? It's the restings. It's Grundy, it's Mills, Wanganeen, Milera. Everyone's got him, so if you've got trades, trade him. And the Geelong boy, Gorn could get Heath. I think that team is pretty much. It's not any of the uniques that are gonna hurt them, like in terms of resting. So, I think they're in a solid spot. They'd have to really butcher it from here. Let's go for a second. So they scored 26-37. Jongy boys, they're in a similar spot with us if they haven't got trades. Horde Francis as well. So they could be in a little bit of strife. Rainovit is probably okay. Yeah. Still, but with the Horn Francis, and having Heaney in that, I don't know. I'm trying to find a team that's probably going to challenge this number one team, but this team's in big trouble. Out of trades, 3 guns on the bench, 4 now. Yeah, they're in trouble. Zombies is rank 5. They'll need a trade. Yeah, if any of these teams have a trade to get rid of Wanganeen Milera, they've got a great chance of still winning. Grundy's there, Warner's there. Yeah, it's a thing. Yeah, if the Sydney boys play and they play full time on ground, that's great. Like, it's gonna be a massive point of difference win for you. But if they're rested, then it's gonna kill you. So it's a flip of the coin what Coxie's gonna do. But I'm leaning towards someone's gonna get rested. Many of them are gonna get managed, and it's gonna come from Grundy, Heaney, and Warner, and even Goulden. If anyone has him, he, copped a head knock. Why not just rest him? So ideally, everyone has full strength sides, and we just battle out. But it's just the way it's gonna happen. I'm still not seeing anyone who's gonna challenge this team. because they got to gain points. And actually, well, the teams who have a trade with Naz and have a full strength side, Merit's okay. He's got a rough run to come. Callahan, yeah, okay, this side's kind of hurt a bit. Cortesans had a massive week, 27-74. I think, yeah, what's happened with their team? Just a bit of... They didn't even have, oh no, oh, the Rao, yeah, the Rao kiss as well with the wet game. Gosh. As soon as I saw it was wet on Sunday, I knew he was going to go large. I was like, oh, you know, why couldn't it just be indoors or not raining? But, you know, that's what happens when Rao gets a sniff of wet weather. He dominates, so keep that in mind if you've got him for another captain option. If it rains wherever he's playing. He's solid, though. Miller had a great week. Yeah, I don't know if these guys can back... Oh, Gold Coast have Brisbane this week, and Dunkley's going to go to him. I don't think it's going to repeat. Knowing Dunkley, it will shut him down, and Miller's not going to be allowed to do that. Yeah, I think if these Gold Coast boys this week, it's going to be a down week. Yeah, this team's still in the hunt. Bit fortunate to get the 115 from McCarthy. Brisroy. Yeah, I don't like their pods. Yeah. I'm not a fan of this team as much, for at least for the last couple of weeks. Could be in trouble. Swingers is yeah, it's not bad. I like that it's got some pods in it. I don't like the Gold Coast boys. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. They've got a few point of differences that could actually leap them, and they had a strong week. And this team was in the top 5 for a while. They've slipped to 10. Yeah, they've got no trades. They've still got Holmes. Now they've got Naz out. Luckily, they've got Artemis and Orkahan there, but yeah, probably similar to me. They're in trouble in terms of getting to top 1. And they got Horton Francis as well. Okay. So we'll go for options for the Naz injury. Who can be brought in if you don't, if you have a trade to fix that? We'll go for defenders and mids, and because we'll go for yeah, defenders, mids, and forwards, and even rucks if you want. But because we got Goulden and Horn Francis at risk as well, and you know, other restings, maybe Jackson, maybe Gorn, who knows. All right. And look at this, injured. Like, what a season we've had with injuries. All right. No one's really kicking off it. Like, Whitfield's probably been the one. If you don't have him, I'd probably pick him. Bowie's, I think, if you're happy with like 100 average, yeah, that's okay. Sydney, like, I still like Blakey. I think they can't rest all of them. Wait for teams and then see what happens. But Blakey's still probably my #1 pick. So, yeah, it was Wayne Milera. Now it's Blakey. Blakey's my #1 pick. Even maybe above Whitfield. Just watch for teams. Watch what's going to happen. And, yeah, I think it's not the season to pick any injured players. Like Zorko, don't do it anymore. Like, season's just brutal enough as it is. Bertie Ewan, nah. Lucky Ash, nah. Prefer Whitfield just for this year at least. Parker, no. He's playing more midfield now. But I think the defensive role is better for Whitfield, Bowie, and Blakey. Jace Burgon, if you're strapped for cash, might be a good pick. I think he's playing midfield now. If I was at trades, I'd probably go here if I really want to go Potish, I think. Where is he? Yeah, he's playing midfield and he's what is he? Yes, it's him, not Watkins. What's he doing? 34 touches against Sydney. 6 tackles. He's a good high tackler, and he kicks it a lot. And his contested possessions are pretty decent, to be honest. So, and he's got Essendon to come. He's got Melbourne, who don't really pay any attention. It seems like they're a low possession team. They don't really take the points off other teams. Midfields, I think, yeah, if you're not going Blakey, maybe Burgoyne with Essendon. Like, I can't see them resting. And if they win those games against Essendon and they do okay against Melbourne, which they've been strong in these games, I think, yeah, maybe Burgoyne's my number 2 behind Blakey, if Blakey's named. And I'm not a fan of Josh Dacos, John Noble, no Sicily, got dominated on the weekend. Yeah, Archie Roberts is done. Alright, so there's my top 3. Blakey, Jace Burgoyne, and then third is Whitfield. But that's just because a lot of people have Whitfield, so Whitfield's probably number 2 to be safe. To be honest, Blakey's still number 1 for me. You only got 2 rounds to go, so you got to capitalise on the matchups mostly. If we go midfielders, we're looking at Goulden replacements if he's out, or someone else rested. Yeah, if you don't have Sheasel, obviously. Actually, not a fan as much with the current players. The Sydney Geelong matchup. Dacos should be okay. Ashcroft I like. Goulden is the one we were trying to replace, but yeah, if he's playing, but he's good. Richards, meh. Neil, yeah, I like the Brisbane boys. And Dacos if you don't have him. Goulden's strong if he's named. Rao, no, I don't like. Yeah, Sydney boys, it's all about if they're named or not. But yeah, Heaney and Grundy, I wouldn't be picking just because of the form and actually, if Grundy is named this week, he's already out a week, so maybe you can pick him. Strong has Adelaide. He's not as good as the Brisbane boys. I'd still be picking them. Jordan Dawson's been disappointing. To anyone traded him in. Max Hall's been great, and I think he's the number 1 forward traded now after the Adelaide matchups have passed with Rankine. So yeah, I'd probably go in Will Ashcroft, Goulden if named instead over Ashcroft, then closely behind. Yeah, and Neil. Those are my 3 probably that I like for the final 3 rounds. Keep zooming along. For the forwards, I like, Max Hall, been excellent, great run to come. If DeConning is named out for the last 2 weeks, I don't think he is, so, but if he is, Ron Marshall's another option again to dominate. Chad Warner if named. I think I just avoid Rankine now because he's so expensive. If you don't have one of these other players, I'd pick them. Yeah, don't worry about Durham and Ross and that at this point. So if we're looking at captains this week, Freo Adelaide, I'm not a fan of anyone, not Jackson. Bradley Hill in the St Kilda game, if he's named, is a cheeky vice. we're on Marshall with no DeConning. Geelong and North Shees was probably, or Bailey Smith's okay. Not the biggest fan of either, but Ashcroft and Neil, one of them will pop off in this Gold Coast game. That's my probably one of my choices there. Nick Dacos against Hawks should be good. I think he'll give you 120. I don't think he's going to explode. Gorn against Port. Watch for Heath. If he's named, then don't worry about it. If he's with Gorn, if he's named without Heath, then Gorn's a good option. Giants, I steer clear. I don't like you go Woodfield, but I think it's easy if it's a vice captain. So if you go on vice captain, then maybe he can go him into Grundy or something against Sydney, with the Sydney matchup. And Goulden's probably another option. So those are probably my captain options for the week. So we've only got 2 rounds to go now. Can we actually catch the number 1 ranking? I think we can, but we're going to have to catch up 150 points a week. Like, jeez. Like, it's going to have to be... all of our uniques are just going to have to pop off. And we're going to have to nail a captain. Like, we're down 1 player. If we can catch up 100 points, and then we get Milera back next week, I think we can win. Like, it's all about the team lineups. Like, if Horn Francis and Goulden are named out, and stuff, you know, Blakey's out, or Mills is out, those are all players we don't have. And... you know, but if someone like Gorn is out and that, it really hurts us when we don't have any trades. So, you know, we'll see what happens. Yeah, I think I'll know by Thursday night if I'm a chance of catching anyone. Like, apparently Horn Francis is okay to play, but we'll see if he, yeah, and same with Goulden, but, you know, they might urge on the side of caution with only 2 rounds to go, and Sydney, you know, they've already got their spot, so why bother, you know. But, you know, Heaney could get rested as well for us, so yeah, it's all about the team lineups. And we're still in quite a few of our leagues, so yeah, good luck to everyone in their prelims. And, you know, see how, if you can, yeah, if you're going to lose this week, then trade. Otherwise, yeah, you might have to take a risk with your captain if you don't have any trades, and see what your opponent's doing. That's probably my best advice. Yeah, I think that'll probably do for today's video. There's not much else to cover. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the videos. Yeah, we only got 1 more round left for the year. We'll probably do yeah, a similar video for next week, and then we'll do a overall year review the week after, and then from that we probably will do some other videos in terms of like gaming and stuff, since you know, it won't be SuperCoach season anymore. We're not going to cover any other EPL or the AFLW. We're not really invested in that sort of thing, so yeah, join us for those videos if you enjoy the channel, and yeah, we'll be back in the pre-season just as strong. And yeah, fingers crossed we can hang on for a top 10 finish, or even higher than that, you know. It's all in the SuperCoach God's hands now. Yeah, good luck with your prelim finals, and peace.